Bianca, JR, he can't stop us now. It's okay for you to believe this.
Believe what? That you would write that to me? Say to my face that my baby is... No, babe. I know you, and I know that you didn't write those words.
Bianca, I did, every word.
JR was right about what you wrote in that note?
It was a coward's way to go. But JR was dead on every single word.
But you regret it, right? You want to take it back.
No, of course not.
You meant to hurt JR like that? To hurt me? No. No, babe, look, you're scared and you're angry and you want to punish JR. But to try to convince him that his baby is dead, to tell me that my baby is...
Yes, that's it, Bianca. You say the words and believe it.
Stop. Stop it right now. Look, you've made mistakes. When you're hurt or you're scared, you've done things that I don't understand, but never to be cruel. That's not who you are, and I won't let you become something that I don't know. So we have to stop talking about Miranda now. We have to leave her in peace.
Bianca, Miranda is going to be in peace the second that you take her in your arms.
And what? And get her away from JR? That's why you're here, to take your baby. What happened, babe? Don't you want your baby?
Of course I want my baby. Bianca, more than anything, I want you to have yours.
Bess is your child. There's DNA proof. Babe, please. I want to believe in you. I want to forgive you for even thinking this. Please don't make it worse.
You can't forgive me. I have done the unforgivable here. But what you can do is you can believe me. That DNA test proved that this baby is yours and not mine. The test was fixed.
Joe Martin did the test. He would never lie.
The lie wasn't his, but it was still a lie.
I know who this baby is.
You used to? Deep down. And then the whole world worked overtime to convince you otherwise.
You love me, and you would never want to hurt me, so stop. Don't hurt me anymore. That's not who you are.
It is me. It's the me that I hid from you, the bad guy underneath all of this ugliness. But it didn't start that way. It started out with 2 mamas and 2 babies and that son of a bitch, Paul Kramer. He crashed the helicopter on purpose so one mama would lose the light of her life. It was supposed to be me and mine. That night, the flood in the cabin. You passed out with Miranda in your arms. And Paul showed up just as I was delivering. And he put Miranda in an incubator and he drugged me. Antibiotics, he said, but it was something to knock me out so I couldn't mess up his plan. And then he told me that my baby had died and I was half out of it, but I heard him and I broke. And then Adam and JR showed up. And they threatened to destroy Paul if the lost baby was a Chandler. And as much as Paul wanted to burn me, he wanted to save his own skin more. So suddenly your baby was dead. And mine was alive. And JR picked up the incubator with his new one. The only thing is, the baby wasn't his. And the lie grew more and more every day, and nobody knew but Paul, not at first. Except you. You knew.
How could I know something that you just made up?
Bianca, you knew at the hospital. You heard your baby crying and you went to her. And you took her home to meet your mother and to make a home for her.
I was sick. In my body and in my mind.
No. Your heart heard your baby calling for you, Bianca. You hadn't lost your mind. You were just being a good mother.
I'm getting better now. I go to group and to therapy. If you love me the way you say you do, stop this. I can't go back there again.
They put the baby in my arms and they told me that I had a little girl. There was a shadow in my heart because in my dreams, I had a beautiful little boy. And then he'd be gone, and I would wake up knowing that he was dead. My heart ached so bad that I could barely even breathe.
That was the infection. David saved your life.
No. My heart ached because I knew that my dream was real. And Mama heard my screams, and she saw my pain, and when she found out that Paul was the pilot, she had an itch that something wasn't right, and she knew that Dad wondered too.
I can't let you drag all these people into this crazy story. It's not fair to them, or to me, or to Bess, to say these things about the people in her life.
There you go. You think like a mother. Bianca, look, Tad, he works from facts and from proof, and he was running a DNA test just to be sure. And at the time, I had no idea. All I knew was that I hurt for you and your baby and the plans that we had for our kids. And I followed Mama one night. She went out to the crash site. And I wasn't sure why at the time, but she had put it all together. The incubator in the bottom of the river. It belonged to my son. And Mama couldn't stand to see my heart break and watch me grieve. So she did something terrible. She left your child in my arms and she kept the secret. And she switched the DNA tests so I could keep your child. Look what Mama did out of love. That was a sin, and she knows that. And what Paul Kramer did out of hate, that was a sin too. But Bianca, what I've done, God forgive me, it's the worst sin of all. The night before my wedding, that was the first night that I betrayed you. I remembered the crash and what Paul said to me. And Mama told me everything, how she rigged the DNA tests and that my baby was gone. And I wanted to curl up in a ball and die. But then there you were, my best friend, and suddenly I could make all the pain go away.
Look, I gave this to Bess because she's your daughter.
No.
And I love her for it.
No, Bianca, she's not even mine at all. Don't you get this? Yes, JR, he loves her with his whole heart, and I didn't know what to say or do. He lost his mother and his sister that was never even born. How could I take away the daughter that he loves and bury him in all this pain and tell him that his son was dead?
This is getting a little frayed. I'm sure there's a sewing kit somewhere in the room.
Bianca, that is when it happened. When I became something hateful. I chose JR over you. His happiness over yours, your suffering over his. I handed your baby over to JR, and I am going to hate myself until the day that I die, but right now we have to take her back. That sweet little girl in there lighting up the world, that is your baby, Bianca, not JR's.
This isn't happening. None of this is real. None of this is true.
You believed it once, but you had to put your baby back in my arms.
I have to go.
Bianca, you cannot leave her here with me, not after everything that I've said to you. I love you, Bianca, but back then, JR was my soul. I couldn't find the words to tell him that his son was dead and take away the baby that he loved. So I made a decision. And it was the type of sin that sent me to a hell on earth.
I can't let her hear this. This is sick.
Yes, that's it, Bianca. Protect your baby. You be a good mama.
This is your baby. You have to love her. You have to keep her safe. Okay? I'll back off.
You can't. It goes against everything that's in you. You know that. Look, even your sister knows that. Kendall saw how much you loved Bess, and she overheard me on my wedding day calling Bess Miranda. She put it together, Bianca, just like Mama did, and she made all the others see that it could be true.
Yeah, I know about that. Kendall told me, but that was Kendall's pain. That was her hope. Explained it. Miranda is Bess's middle name. You named her that in honor of my baby, who died.
Bianca, Tad had already done the DNA test, and he got the results back that Mama had rigged. So when he told everyone that Bess was a Chandler, they had to listen. Tad kept my lie, and he didn't even know it.
At the christening, you named me her godmother.
Bianca, not just her godmother. Remember? I called you her mama. It was my wrong way of trying to get to what was right, and you were so touched.
And you were upset.
I lied. I was this low, pathetic thing. I was trying to keep JR happy and keep you in my life and hold on to a baby that I had no right to hold on to. I even convinced myself that it was better for Bess to have JR and you and me all in her life, all loving her. Like our own. I made a deal with the devil, and the devil started cashing in. My husband hated me, and I had no clue. He wanted to get rid of me so badly that he tried to prove that I was an unfit mama, and he drugged me, and he almost killed me. And yeah, of course, JR left clues. He couldn't cover all the hate all of the time, but I blocked it out, and I didn't want to listen to you, and I didn't want to listen to Jamie. Because if JR hated me, if my marriage was some sick joke, if he was just keeping me around so he could have Bess, then I would have to admit that I handed your daughter over to a monster.
That lies.
I was so stupid. I was clinging onto the hope for JR and me. Like, God. And that night at the casino, it changed everything. There you were. My best friend standing by my side and holding my hand and telling me everything was going to be okay. And then JR showed us who he really is. Pure hate. And I knew right then and there that I had to tell you everything. The words were like cut glass, but I swear to you, I almost got them out. But then Mama calls and she tells me that Bess is missing and that they've taken her somewhere and they don't know where. So how am I supposed to tell you that your baby is alive when you can't even take her in your arms and hold her? So by the time that David and Mama and Crystal get her back, there it was a chance for me to save a tiny corner of my soul. But when the time comes to tell you, what do? I cave. God, and I promised myself that I wasn't gonna do this. I wasn't gonna be pitiful because I don't have rights here. Bianca, you're the only one with rights. And once you understand this, you're not gonna stand in the same room with me again. So I need you to listen to me.
Who would do that, babe? Who would keep a mother from her child? Someone evil. Not you. Not you.
Bianca, you think that I am good and that I would never hurt you, just like I wanted to believe that JR would never hurt me. But we were both wrong.
Babe, you couldn't. No one could. Let a mother believe that her child was... You didn't. You couldn't. Once you knew who JR was, once Bess was back and safe in your arms, you would have told me.
No,
you would have.
I did put her back in your arms that night, Bianca, remember?
You wouldn't have kept quiet. Not then.
Bianca, the night that your baby was rescued, I found out something else. I found out that my baby was alive.
Babe, you're so messed up, you stopped making sense. I just don't know when.
How could any of this make sense? Look, the night that I ran from Tad's, I was so scared because I was about to lose everyone that I loved. You and Jamie, and the child in my life that I loved with my whole heart. So I went to go pray for the strength to stop taking what wasn't mine. I went to that chapel that I'd been going to.
Yes. Yes, the chapel that you rebuilt for Miranda. Out of your love and kindness, proof that none of this is real.
That chapel was for my son. And that stained glass was of a baby boy angel. My beautiful son. The one that I thought Paul Kramer had sent to the bottom of the river. I had gone there that night to pray to my son for the strength so I could be the mama that he deserves to stand there and take what I had coming. And God listened. He gave me the strength, and I was on my way home to tell you, but then I got turned around, and I ended up in Lambview. I prayed to God for guidance, and he listened. He led me straight to my beautiful baby boy.
You want me to rejoice that a baby boy didn't die when he never even existed to begin with?
He's real, Bianca. I found him. It's like he was calling to me, and there he was. His eyes to my eyes, my heart to his heart. I knew like you knew in the hospital with Miranda. That is how I felt with this little boy.
You've lost it. You need help.
No, I haven't. That's what Mama says. She thought that I was going crazy, but listen to it. It makes sense. Nobody died in that crash. No tiny souls lost. It wasn't just Paul Kramer supposedly admitting that some baby died. He's pure evil, Bianca. He ripped my baby from my arms, and he gave him to his sister so she could have a child to call her own. Kelly Buchanan has had my child this whole time, and I have had yours.
Oh, my God. You took that child. Ace from the park. Oh, babe. The stuff you're saying, it's grief. It's losing Bess to JR. You've come up with this whole fantasy where we both get our babies back. Look, I'm so sorry for everything that I said, okay? We're gonna forget this ever happened. I get grief and loss. I get wanting the universe to give back what it took from us. I can help you through this.
Look, Bianca, if you cannot believe me, then ask my mama or ask David, and they're gonna tell you that every single word is true.
David?
Oh, God. Oh, God, Bianca, please. Please, David, he loves you. Please don't blame him for any of this.
David doesn't know this. He couldn't. This is just a delusion that you've been spinning for the past couple of months, and now you want me to live it too.
Okay, look. David loves you. And he was willing to put his neck on the line and take the blame for all of this. But then I found out about my little boy, and I freaked out. Because I knew that JR would take my son just like he took Bess. And I begged my father to keep my secret.
Secrets and delusions. Is there even a difference between the two? Do you know anymore, babe?
I have proof, Bianca, DNA proof that he's my son. I renamed him James. And we're a family now, just like you and Miranda. Look. This was us. This was us the day at the park, remember? This is how we were supposed to be. I know that you laughed when I said that they had this connection, but you saw it too. It's meant to be. And you see it now. Look, I know that you need time to sort this out in your head and make sense with all of this, but we have been here long enough already. We have got to get out of here now. Look, please, I need you to take Miranda to a clinic and get her a DNA test, and you've got to do it now before it takes your little girl away and you're never going to see her again. We've got to go now. Bianca, please. Look, I'm sorry that it has to be like this, but we have to go right now. It's okay, sweetie. Come here. Hey, this DNA test, it's gonna be easy, and you're an old pro at it. Your buddy James, he did it too. It's just gonna take a quick second.
I shouldn't have picked her up.
No, Bianca, don't. You should hold that baby.
Have you ever kept a secret? I mean, a big secret from somebody you cared about? Because you thought deep in your heart you were doing it for the right reasons?
She's not just her godmother. Bianca's also her mama.
Oh my God, Mom.
It's true, it's true. Oh, he's my son.
Your son? Babe, what are you talking about?
After all we went through, where's our big mother and child reunion? I mean, Babe's acting like she was going to make some grand pronouncement. She hands the baby out to Bianca and then takes off. What is that?
For a few minutes, we had real hope. We actually believed that Bess was Miranda.
It's happening, isn't it? Let it come. We started this together. And that is how we're gonna end this together. You and me. The flood in the woods. Our big bellies barely even fitting into that car. We found a cabin, but we couldn't get help. And then the labor came on so fast. And you held my hand, and you shouted out, and you brought your beautiful baby into this world. And you counted her fingers, and you looked into her eyes. Oh, Bianca, you've looked into those same eyes so many times since then. Felt the pull. You have loved that baby. Please, look at her. See the same baby in the cabin. The same baby that you brought home from the hospital. Don't listen to the world. Don't listen to me. Listen to your heart. Whose eyes are you looking into, Bianca?
My baby.
Yes. Yes, your baby. Miranda. Your miracle. You just have to believe. She's here. You always knew in your heart. Miranda's here. You're Miranda. She's just waiting for you to pick her up and hold her close. Please, Bianca. We have to go. We've got to get out of here now. You've got to get that DNA test so you can prove to the whole world who she really is.
Miranda. My baby. You kept her from me?
Yes. I kept her from you.
You had my baby. The baby that you delivered, put into my arms, cut the cord. You kept her from me. I grieved. I stopped the milk. I gave all her things away. I shut the baby book because there was nothing else to write. I had to move on. You helped me. You held me. You told me that you wished that you could make all the hurt go away.
And I still do wish that more than anything.
You could have, babe. You could have made it all better if you had just told me the truth. Well, what did you think, that I was gonna, get over it? Move on?
No, I knew that that was impossible. I saw how you loved that child.
Do you know what I had left of my baby? A shirt, a tank top that I held to my face as I cried at night. Can you just see that? Can you picture me all alone in my room in the dark? You put me there, watching the minutes drag by because there was no point in going to sleep. That's when the nightmares would come. Trying to get to Miranda, save Miranda, Miranda in the river, Miranda screaming my name, calling out to me, and I was so close. Our fingertips were almost touching, and then she would float away down the river, and I would wake myself up screaming her name. Worse were the dreams where she was alive, healthy, smiling, looking at me in my arms, her breath against my cheek, her face right here. I could feel her. I could smell her. And then I would wake up and she would be gone again, ripped from my arms, dead, leaving me with nothing. And you had Miranda in your arms against your heart.
I know that it was a sin what I took from you.
No, babe, sorry. Not one sin, 1,000, 1,000,000. A sin for every second that she was apart from me.
I tried to find a way.
You did. I remember you made me your godmother to share her with me. What was that, some kind of sick joke? Oh, no, of course not. You hurt for me. You ached for me. You shared with me the scraps of your life with my daughter to make me feel better. Oh, and weren't you so kind and loving after I ran off with Miranda? Spunky Babe stood up to Big Bad JR, fought for my place in my baby's life, and kept on fighting.
Bianca, I was trying to find a way, but all I kept finding, I found it wrong.
How about Bianca? Here's your baby. No, not good enough. Okay, how about stop grieving, stop crying, your baby's alive. Instead, you made me her godmother, as if that would be enough. Please, babe, please tell me again about the guilt, the endless guilt, crushing you, wearing you down, but not enough to make you open your mouth and say the words, Bianca, your baby is alive.
I knew that it wasn't enough. What I did was unforgivable.
The way Kendall resented you, this big, irrational hate that my sister had for you because your baby lived and my baby died. I almost cut her out of my life for you. I did, because you were the only other person on earth to have held Miranda. You saw my baby's face. You put her into my arms, and that alone made me love you. Soul sisters. For life.
For life.
But when Kendall looked at you, all she felt was hate. I should have listened to her. She was right. I've never hated anyone the way I hate you now. The way I went off on JR when he turned on you. He called you a liar and a con and said that you weren't fit to raise that babe. Where do I even start with that one?
You're saying all the things that I said to myself.
Really? Like how we hopped into bed together to nail JR for the bad guy he was? I did that to protect Bess from evil JR, who was so low and so cruel as to keep a mother away from her child. It's funny, huh? I swore that I would protect that baby. My baby. My baby. My baby.
All the fighting I did, it was for you. I was trying to keep Miranda safe until she was back in your arms. I know it doesn't explain anything.
You let me think that my baby was dead. That my little girl drowned in the river, that her little bones broke, and her little lungs filled with water.
She's alive, safe right there.
But I didn't know that. That's the point. Those visions left me rocking in a corner and begging God to make it stop. I never told you that because I never told anyone. It was all too horrible to say out loud.
I'm so sorry. I was wrong. And there's no words that I can say to explain what I've done.
You said that you would make things right. Over and over, every day. I will make things right. Is this what you had in mind, babe? Are things right now?
No, I know that I cannot take away your pain or undo what I've done, but I can stand here and take what I have coming.
You think that you can martyr yourself? That I'm gonna feel sorry for you now?
It's not like that. I owe you my life, Bianca. And it's up to you what you do with it.
Well, what can you give me, babe? What makes us even?
You can call the police. You can call the police, and you can tell them that I kidnapped Kevin Buchanan's baby. And they'll take away my son, just like I kept Miranda from you.
I see. Because babies are like purses. And when we get bored, we can just trade them.
They'll take away my son. And the son that JR thinks is dead, he'll realize that he's not gone at all. And you know how JR's sick mind works. He's gonna come up with things that your good mind can't even begin to comprehend. Bianca, I will lose my son. I'll never see him again.
Do it, babe. Cry. Cry. Come on, cry. I dare you. I dare you to cry in front of my face after everything that you have put me through.
I thought that I had lost my baby. And I felt some of your pain, and I'm not even beginning to say that it even compares. But I mourned my boy. But then this beautiful miracle happened, and he was back in my life, and I thank God every single day for every second that I had with him. I want a life with my son, for his sake and for mine, and I know that I have done so many countless terrible things, but I still think that he belongs with me over JR.
Really a liar and a kidnapper and a woman who betrays the people that she says she loves. That's what your son deserves.
You know me better than anyone now. So whatever you decide to do with me, it's up to you. But whatever you decide, I need you to do it quickly because we don't have much time. JR is gonna be here. We've gotta get Miranda and we gotta get her out of here. You have to take your little girl and get that DNA test, and you keep her close to you. Do you realize that JR knew about Miranda the second that he read my letter? Bianca, he didn't give her up then, and he's not gonna give her up now, not without a fight. So you need to take your baby and get her out of here before
Hi, little one. This isn't the first time we met, remember? That day in the park? I am so sorry that you got dragged into this. With all my heart. Jamie showed up that day at the park and asked if this was the son that you were talking about. And you explained it all away. So smooth with the lies, I had no idea.
I always wanted to tell you, Bianca. And I'll always be sorry for that.
Come on. The only reason that you finally came clean about Miranda is because you didn't need her anymore. You had your own baby back, so mine was just a spare that you could afford to lose.
No, that's not true. You have to understand.
What? Now you're gonna defend Babe again?
No.
Make it all better for her like you always do, no matter who gets caught in the fallout?
I'm not covering for Babe. Bianca, this is the God's honest truth. Babe wanted to tell you from day one. The blame for you not knowing all this time is all on me. I was the one that fudged those DNA labels. I was the one.
God,
it was all my fault.
stop, please. Babe already filled me in on all the disgusting details. Look, don't get me wrong, Crystal. I hate you. What you did was selfish and repulsive, but I can almost understand. I mean, who am I to you? Just some girl that your daughter hung out with. Babe is your life. When she was born, you looked into her eyes and you swore to her that you would do anything it took to keep her safe, to keep her happy. When Miranda was born, I did the exact same thing, so I get it. But Babe looked into my eyes and told me that she loved me. She called me her best friend. And then she ripped out my heart, and now she wants credit for finally giving it back.
You're gonna know.
I know there is no way to make you understand.
And there's not enough time.
What you did to me, I wouldn't do to my worst enemy. You claimed my baby as your own. How sick are you, Babe? How evil and cruel.
Hate me, Bianca. But just take Miranda and get her to that clinic. And if you're not gonna let me take you, fine. Then let Mom or David, let David take you.
David helped you keep my child from me. David can rot in hell.
What's wrong?
JR got away. Run. Now.
JR just got away from Jamie. We have to get you and Miranda out of here. Just forget the bags. Just go.
Insane? Why would I go anywhere with you? Get out of here, Babe. Go far, far away where I never have to look at you again. Do us both a favor and let me just pretend that you don't exist.
Mama, can you just take James? I'll be right behind you. He can still hurt you, Bianca. Please, just take your baby and keep her safe.
You take care of your baby. I'll take care of mine.
Hi, little one. Hi, little girl.
My Miranda. My sweet. My sweet Miranda.